Hey artist, I want to walk you through today's video. Before we begin, I want to explain that this is not something that you're going to need to turn in. This is more so today for you to practice and to get your feet wet when working with textures. This artist that you're watching is a more mature artist. She is definitely one that has put a lot of practice into her drawing. We are not expecting you to be at this level or to even be immensely successful today. We are expecting you to just try and to see what you can do by trying to copy some of the techniques that she's doing. So I want to explain what she's doing and break it down so that we can look at it together. The first thing that you're going to need, though, is a pencil. Today, marker or crayon is not going to be the best material for you to use. A pencil is definitely where you want to go. A sharpened pencil is one that will also be handy, and probably an eraser would also be handy. You don't need to make perfectly straight lines with a ruler if you don't want to. If you just want to make a square box for you to practice inside of, that's totally fine. If you want to use a ruler, that's a great thing to learn how to use in art. Okay, let's talk about what she's drawing. This first texture that she's drawing is wood. And she begins by drawing the knot of the wood and then drawing lines around it. Now, you learned about value last week, and value comes in really handy when drawing in textures. Do you see now that she's going over certain lines really dark? She's adding a darker shade or darker values to it to make it look more realistic. Okay. And then she also presses lighter to create tints and lighter shades to give it more depth. All right, this next texture that she is creating is brick. With brick, you want to start off with vertical lines. And bricks, it's really about placement. If you learn how to do texture with bricks, your guys' little square houses with triangle tops are about to get a lot more interesting. With bricks, you don't want to stack your shapes like this. That's not going to be handy. That could topple over, and you'll leave your viewer wondering, well, what happens if someone walks by and pushes it over? With bricks, you want sturdiness. You want like the toughness of bricks. So it's all about placement then. And that's what you see here, where she is placing the bricks and then going in with her darker shades and her lighter shades to give it texture. I am going to speed through here a little bit more. You can continue to watch her with new bricks. But the next one that she's going to do is marble. Marble, to help familiarize you with marble, if you think about Michelangelo, he is the famous Renaissance sculptor. He created David and Pietà with Pietà and David are both two of the most famous sculptures in the world. They're pretty incredible. And yes, David is naked. It's all right. Back then, clothes were interesting. So you are going to, or drawing marble, it's a smooth stone once you finish it or give it a finish, but it starts off like a rock that you have to chisel through. Some of you guys might have marble countertops too. So marble is another interesting texture. The tool that she's using right now is called a blender. You don't really need one of those. It's to help make the marks more smudgy. So you'll see her just kind of taking that, and that creates like a really, really light tint. But you can use a tissue, or you could even use your finger if you would like to try that out. The last texture that she's going to do, and again, I'm going to kind of flip through this, is rocks or stones. And you're going to begin by drawing round shapes. They don't need to be circles, but they can be a variety of round shapes, larger, smaller, all in between. And then she has this really cool thing where she then makes dark value tones between those shapes. That's to make it look like the ground is below those rocks. So like the rocks are kind of like coming up off of the ground. She's then going to add some texture or shading to the top of the rock to make it really have a very rocky, bumpy looking texture. Again, these are things that are not terribly difficult to do. It takes a little bit of practice, but you could probably do this. And again, this is not something that you need to turn in. It is just for you to practice with. You'll use these things later in your artwork, later throughout the week, and then as well as the rest of your artistic career. Your artwork is about to get a lot more interesting with textures. We are so excited to see what you're going to do with this. So enjoy the video, enjoy the music, turn on some Christmas music, and have fun.